Hey guys, if you are considering and going to nursing school, but you've also heard how difficult it can be, this is the right video for you. As for me, I am from the Philippines, and I've always dreamt of living and working in the United States. And the fastest way we knew how to do it in a legal way is to be a nurse. Now with nursing school, the reason why it's difficult, or the reason why it has to be difficult, was because it had to prepare you to do well for the licensure examinations. Because if the graduates that your school produces do poorly in these tests, then there's a big chance that the government can intervene and close your school. And also, you didn't want to waste your time, so you wanted to go to the best school possible. In my case, I am from the Philippines. It's not really a rich country, and I've always dreamt of living and working in the States. And one of the fastest and legal way to do that is to be a nurse, to study nursing. The hardships of nursing school, in my case, I studied in the Philippines at Cebu Doctors University, and I'm proud of that. What made it hard was, number one, there was plenty of writing. You had to make notes. Our nursing program was like a modular type of program where they would give you topics before the lecture. You would have to do your own research and make notes, like complete notes, because if you didn't have complete notes, you wouldn't be allowed to take the pre-test before the lecture, and that really affects your grade. So you are expected to make complete notes, and these notes are like, I don't know if you have it here in the States, but in the Philippines, if you're familiar with lesson planners, those big large notebooks, imagine up to 10 pages of like writing notes. So there's plenty of writing, and because you had to make long notes and study them, because before the lecture and after the lecture you will have tests, so you won't be sleeping anymore, because you have to study. Not only do you have to write and do your research, but you also have to study those notes so that you can perform well for the pre-test and especially the post-test. Every after lecture there is a post-test, and the post-test passing rate, or the post-test passing, is 80%. So if the post-test has 20 items, you have to get 16 items and above. So not only do you have to listen very well during the lecture, you got to make sure that you're also studying your notes ahead of time. So lots of writing, sleepless nights. And the third thing that made nursing school really difficult was the teachers, or at least the clinical instructors, were really rude and mean. They were really mean, but they were mean because, as they say, they had to prepare us for the real world. They had to prepare us for the real clinical setting. And you know, they're not wrong. They were not wrong, I have to agree. And like, how mean, like if you wanted to ask me for examples of how mean were they would scrutinize your appearance. You know, they would say, oh, you look too pale. Your face looks too dry. For females, they were encouraged to put on makeup and look their best. And of course, these are reasonable expectations, I suppose. But how about for those who are emotionally sensitive? Because FYI, every school year there was always known that every school year there was someone that would unalive themselves because of the stress of the course. In my batch, respectfully, there was someone who unalived themselves, and the reason was pressure from her family to pass and to graduate on time, and extra expectations from the family that once they finish nursing school, they would go to med school. And this person was already struggling in nursing, and she was really afraid that she might not make it past junior year, because junior year is where we have medical surgical nursing, which is quite difficult. Anywho, respectfully, she did pass away. It was very sad, and that's just, I guess, one example of how the meanness of not all of the faculty, but a good number of the faculty can get to you. But I acknowledge that it does prepare you for the real world. It does prepare you for the real clinical setting, because understandably, there are patients, family members, even doctors, co-workers who are just something, and that prepares you. I guess the meanness in nursing school prepares you. I'm not justifying them, by the way, and because I think that's a different discussion, a controversial discussion, because my younger sister couldn't take the pressure of nursing. Well, actually, okay, my younger sister, she quit nursing not because of the CIs, the clinical instructors were mean. I guess it's just everything. Like, she's just squeamish with blood, and I think if you are squeamish with blood, I don't think you can be a nurse. So back to my point. So nursing school was tough, and so lots of notes, lots of sleepless nights, mean people, although it's like intentionally mean to prepare you for the real world. But was it all worth it? It depends on your why. Why go to nursing? Why take up nursing? And my why was the American dream, to live in America. And the short answer is yes, it is worth it. And as an added bonus, I got not only to get my green card for the US, I got to live in London for 4.5 years and travel around Europe before moving to the US. So that was such a great deal. And to think I always thought that you would do the Euro tour once you live in the States and earn good money. This was the reverse. I did Europe first and then moved to the States, which I'm very, very happy and satisfied with. And I'm also grateful that nursing has a lot of different kinds of specializations. So you're not just nursing in the hospital. You can be in occupational health, work for a company. Right now I'm working as a school nurse, so I have that option. And I love the schedule of being a school nurse. I might not have a lot of hours like the hospital. I might not be earning as much as in the hospital, but I'm earning good money and I've got this perfect life-work balance, or work-life balance, because I have a lot of free time and I'm pursuing this YouTube project. So you have to know what your why is for nursing, why you're choosing nursing, because that will see you through. And if you're wondering if there was a time I was gonna quit nursing during nursing school, yes, immediately after we started our major subject, after we had our major subjects during the second semester of first year, when I experienced firsthand how mean the teachers can be, the clinical instructors can be, yes, I wanted to quit. I rushed immediately to the College of Rehabilitative Sciences, for physical therapists. I asked for a prospectus, and when I saw the prospectus for physical therapy, I just thought to myself with my friend, I'm like, oh my God, okay, it takes 5 years to be a physical therapist. Nursing was just 4 years. And there were a lot of major subjects in physical therapy. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll just tolerate nursing. And finish it on time. And one of the pressures too in nursing that makes it difficult, one of the hurdles or hardship was you didn't want to fail a subject. You wanted to graduate on time because you want to be with your friends. And literally for me, nursing school was like a second high school, way better, because you had more freedom, more time. I had a car and more free time. And you're an adult, so you can go drinking, because in the Philippines the drinking age was 18, unlike over here in the States it's 21. So it was really fun, and I did not want to get left behind. So there was that pressure of making sure you did well during the tests. So for you have to know your why. And if you're having a hard time finding your why, you feel like you're lost as to what you're passionate about, or if you have to pursue your passions in life, I would definitely say, or rather the best tip I got to help me figure out life and my whys, is ask yourself what's important to you, what is important to you. And what was important to me was security. Now this is not where the story begins, because it's not just, oh, okay, I wanted to go to the States and so I'll be a nurse. No. I actually wanted to be an animator. And my dad was a lawyer, so he's very good with trying to convince people, persuade people. He was like, Daniel, I know that I can sense that you want to live in the States, and with animation, it doesn't pay well. And I did my own research. It turns out that it's true. Animators are not paid well. There's no job security. It's very project-based. It is a cutthroat industry, meaning you have to be the best of the best in drawing. And I was being honest with myself. I was like, okay, fine, my skills are not that good. And I learned that you're supposed to know how to draw well before you enter animation school. Because in animation school, they teach you how to animate, to move your drawings, not to sharpen your drawing skills. And also, there weren't really much visas, or there are no, and it's hard to get a working visa as an animator if you want to go to States. Unlike for nursing, you can just you're immediately an immigrant when you apply for a visa for the States through sponsorship. And my dad also said, why don't you just be a nurse, take up nursing, and then once you're in the States, just do whatever you want. You can pursue your drawings again. And I really considered that. I did my research and I agreed. And one of his encouraging lines was, you can choose, Daniel, either 4 years of sacrifice, which is nursing school, or a lifetime of suffering. So 4 years of sacrifice or a lifetime of suffering. And what he meant by that, respectfully, is either you choose a course that's practical, gets you that guarantees you a good job, a good paying job. So that's your 4 years of sacrifice and you enjoy the rest of your life, or you can choose a course that might be frivolous or fun, but there's no guarantee of good pay down the line. So you might be enjoying your 4 years, but then the rest of your life it might be suffering. Respectfully, okay? That's just my dad's point of view. Remember, please, we are from the Philippines, so it was very important for us to choose practical choices. So fast forward now, I did graduate in time. To be a licensed nurse in the Philippines, you had to take the board exam, which comprises of 500 questions. That's 5 booklets, 100 questions per booklet, at a passing rate of I think you had to get general average of above 75 and then no score below 60 in each booklet. And then I had to take the NCLEX as well. I am grateful for my school, for my college. It was tough. The training was tough, and I believe it helped shape my mind in making sure that I pass these licensure examinations to be a nurse. So yes, the hardship of nursing school was worth it. No sleep or little sleep, so much writing, and just taking in this this meanness, it was worth it to get my green card and to have, to get where I am here in New York now, and I got to live in London. But then there is another question, because the thing is, hardships aren't just until you finish nursing school. They continue on at the workplace, especially in the clinical setting. So you then have to ask yourself again: are the hardships in your current job as a nurse worth it? And I used to work. I worked as an intensive care nurse. I worked as a disability analyst. I worked in a nursing center, so very clinical setting. There were moments where it was mostly difficult. It was mostly challenging. I got to tolerate them. I got to say yes to them because I was aiming to get a green card to move to the States. And once I did get it, now that I'm here, now that I have a green card, I then ask myself, is it still worth it? The challenges, the hardships in clinical setting, in clinical work. And my answer now is, I think my answer now is no. And this is why I chose to work as a school nurse, because it ticked a lot of boxes for the kind of job environment that I wanted, such as Monday to Fridays, holidays off, so I can spend time with family and loved ones and friends. And I would have easy access to the bathroom in case I needed to use the bathroom. Not that I have any GI conditions, but I just wanted to be able to have that option to go to the bathroom and not be harassed. Like, oh, where are you? Did you endorse your patient well? So that's it. So I bring it back to you. I give it back to you. Will the hardship of nursing school be worth it? It will be, if you have a strong why. Know what's important to you. Looking back now, I'm glad that I did listen to my dad. I'm glad that I did that sacrifice. I met wonderful people in nursing school, lifelong friends. And the way that the world is today, with so much layoffs and the economy just here and there, at least nursing is a pandemic-proof job. But of course, it is high risk because you might get exposed. Your body might not be as healthy as before, and you might get sick as easily. So you know yourself best. Definitely just know your why. Make sure it's a strong why, and the hardships will be worth it. And the hardships after nursing in the clinical setting, will that be worth it? Just know that you do have a choice. If you think you can't take it anymore, then you can quit. Okay? So this is the topic for this video. I hope you learned something from it. And if you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to leave a comment, because I really enjoy responding to them. So if you're new here, please like and subscribe if you want more tips and the vibe. I'll see you next time, and good luck.